ESGN Nation, and welcome back to another NCAA Football 14 Highland Scotties team builder, and returning to the series here as we're in Scotties Sports Talk. This is episode 47, and we're going to be checking out, as you take a look here, a little bit of a preview of the matchup between number 2 Texas and number 1 Highland Scotties, as they're going to be fighting for that the biggest, not to mention the number 1 spot in the nation, but the biggest championship in the nation. That is the Coach's Trophy, and of course being named as National Collegiate Champions of Football. So take a look here. That's Highland's schedule. They pretty much ran the table here, having probably the closest game. Probably, I would have to say, is probably that Kansas game. There in the second game of the season. There could have easily went to overtime, but for the most part here, pretty wild games. K-State was another wild one, along with Georgia Tech there, 35-38. Notre Dame was another close game. Of course, that was in a neutral territory there at Soldier Field. And of course, you see some others there that were pretty good and pretty exciting games. But yeah, we're taking on number 2 Texas. Of course, Texas, part of the Big 12. And of course, we are going to be joining the Big 12 next season, as we'll fill up that conference now. We'll have actually 12 teams in there. And of course, that we want to play not just for championships, but also win for conference titles. It's time for us to start winning some conference titles. When I originally started this series, I was wanting to put us in the Big 12, but then I decided to just put us as try to play against the best teams we can find and see how well we do on that front. And we did that for 4 seasons now, and we're coming now to our first ever conference that we'll be a part of. Of course, that'd be the Big 12. Take a look at Texas. They've ran the table pretty well there. They had 2 close calls this season. Take a look there that Oklahoma and Iowa State games there. Both went overtime, and they won those games. But for the most part here, the only game that really was close was that West Virginia, or they really did some damage, was that West Virginia game where they went 17-3, defeating them on the road. But yeah, we're looking forward to joining the Big 12 there. Of course, hopefully we'll be able to play Texas. But this will be the first time these 2 teams have matched up against each other. And let's take a look at some of the team leaders here for Highland. Rush, she Rush. He had a nice season there. In the last game he was involved in, 23 for 32, 383 yards, 5 touchdowns. 3 carries for 13 yards. Had a nice pass and rushing game. 24 touchdowns total for the season, 15 interceptions. And he is a gamer. He did have some issues there towards the first couple of the games, I should say, throughout the season there. He had some trouble. He had to have some help from Newton to take over and win those games. We're hoping that will not be the case in this one. Davison, there you see, just under 800 yards there for the season. And he was a very vital role there in the running game, as Alexander was out for quite a bit of the season. And Davison did a great job there of stepping up and showing what he can do as the second string guy coming in there. Now take a look at Texas. There you see their numbers, and they've had an amazing season themselves. Sam Egler, there you see, had a great year there. His last game, 17-26, 160. He had 3 total touchdowns. I believe 2 of them were on the ground, and 1 was in the air. There you see 19 touchdowns total this season with 15 interceptions. So a bit of a little shaky, I guess, season there for him. Not the best numbers when it comes to ratio from touchdowns to interceptions. But nonetheless, he had a fair season, and of course it got them to the national championship here. Of course, winning all 11 games this season, and of course winning all 9 games in the Big 12. They took the Big 12 title there, and then of course, Oklahoma right behind them. There you see the other 9 teams that were involved in the Big 12. Like I said, next season we're gonna be in the Big 12 North, and BYU they're gonna be in the South. Kind of getting we have West Virginia out east, so I decided to go ahead and find a team out west to kind of try to draw in some, try to draw some of those Western players to come to the Big 12 there, and we're hoping to see what that does. I know in the last episode in the Scotties Sports Talk we were talking about relegation, and that is going to be in effect as of going into the next season. So. With the exception of the Big 12, since we already have 12 teams, the Big 12 and the Conference USA are not going to relegate until this time at the end of season 5, going to season 6. So that's what we're going to do. Everybody else is going to be in relegation, and we'll talk more about that in a future. Actually, we'll talk more about that in the off-season video, because I will show you guys the who's going to be moving where and whatnot based on some records. But as you take a look here, looking at the Longhorns numbers there, 860 yards there for Carter. This young man Carter, he's just a beast this season. He has 7 touchdowns total. His longest run was 25 yards. But there you see, just getting close to 7 yards per carry this season. And he is definitely going to be somebody that we're going to have to really keep our eyes on. No 1,000-yard receivers here for Texas, which I find really highly unusual. Of course, they did not throw the ball that much. They are a run first type of team. But their top wide receiver, Johnson, he will not be in that game because of injury. So he will not be a part of that, and we'll have to see what they're going to do here with him being on the sidelines there. Lito and James and Brewer will all have to step up. Fulcrum is another young guy who has made an impact in some aspects of could be an asset to them going into this game. But yeah, to me, looking at their numbers there, we kind of mentioned it in the last Scotties Sports Talk there. As a commentator here and a viewer here, I'm really thinking that we're gonna have, or at least I'm thinking that Highland's gonna have to really keep the game in control if they want to win this game. They are the highest scoring team, one of the highest scoring teams in the nation. But I don't think that's going to be the case here with Texas, because Texas has a very good secondary. Their linebackers and their corners are top notch. I believe I think they're in the top 10 in pass defense. So throwing the ball around is not going to be a tough task here. There's going to be a lot of short, mid to short range passing. I would even say they might have to even get Alexander and even Davison involved in the passing game, throwing those short screen passes. But the running game is going to be really crucial. If they can, control the game by going through maintaining the game and maintaining the ball through the run, so they can open up the pass, I think that would be the best bet for them to win this game. As for Texas, they got a tough task to do the same thing with our defense. We got a tough defensive line there that can rip and tear apart offensive lines there. So their quarterback's really is going to have to make sure his offensive line keeps him clean. I know, talking to both coaches, they were very impressed with the way these two teams have been playing. And really true, I was not thinking that Texas was going to be here at this point. I was really thinking it was going to be another. Honestly, I thought it was going to be a pack, or it's going to be a SEC school. I know Alabama's not in the running here this year, but like a Clemson or Georgia or something like that would be a surprise, or maybe an ACC team that would come out of nowhere and take this. But it tells you right there. We got got a potential new Big 12 school getting involved in this one. Of course, we got a Big 12 school. Texas, if they win this, they have not won a national championship, since the days of Vince Young. That's back in 2005. So they're many would say they are greatly due for this, and we'll see if that can come fruition. Like I said, they look at their defense. They look at their defensive numbers. Their defensive players know where the ball is at. As you see, there are a lot of guys that tackles there. That Bimage, he has 60 tackles this season. 26 of those alone are his own. He leads the team there. So yeah, he is. Him and several others there are going to be really a tough guys that we're going to have to deal with when passing the ball, and also running the ball, because they are also great. I think they're in the top 20 in rush defense also too. So both schools actually are both in a lot of the categories are pretty similar to one another. So that's what I'm saying. There might be a bit of a tug of war with not too many big plays. I think at the end of the day, for someone to win this game, big plays are going to have to a big play, or maybe a multiple big plays are going to have to happen for order that to get that win and bring home that trophy. So it's going to be a tough task for both schools. If anything, it may be special teams that might be in a possibility. Might have to break this tie. You see Madsen, he has 2 kick returns there for the season, so he could be the difference maker in this one. I think for Highland, I don't think we even had one this season. So the special teams could be it, but at the same time, this could be the one play that Highland needs to get the ball, return it back down the field, and score that kick return touchdown. So a lot of things. I really feel that this is going to be a really tough game. We're going to be in Miami, so it's going to be all the players are here. They've been practicing for the last almost week now. Excuse me. It's gonna be something. There you see Carter, 6 foot, 213. He's a redshirt junior, and this season, 7 rushing touchdowns. Total of 16 so far for his career. You see his redshirt freshman year there was pretty impressive there, and then last year not so much, but he's back. But look at him. He has great acceleration, great agility. He can just get out of a tough situation if need be. Spin and juke are top notch, and he has great stamina for himself. So he could be out there quite a bit and take a lick and keep on ticking. Graham is another player there defensively for the Longhorns. And I think this would be a good. He could be really a difference maker there to our offensive line. I will honestly say our offensive line, this one I'm not looking too forward to, because there are some, our quarterback Rush is not the best at reading blitzes and seeing things come off the line quickly. Graham, there you see 6'4", 291 pounds. Redshirt junior there. He has a good hit power. He can shed blocks, and he is definitely going to, if he gets his hands on hold of our quarterback, we're definitely going to be in trouble. Josh Thompson, one of their top corners there. He's a true senior, 6 foot, 200 pounds. There you see his numbers. Look at the speed. Look at the acceleration. Throwing deep is, I almost want to say it's not an option. Even passing his way is not even an option. Look at the man in zone. He's going to be flying around that field and doing pretty much wherever he wants. So great play recognition. Pursuit there is also top notch. So like I said, that secondary that they have, not going to be fun to play against at all. Not looking forward to this at all. But the good thing is, the majority of these guys are freshmen. majority of these guys are seniors, so they'll be gone next year if we end up having to play them again in the regular season once we join the Big 12. But you see Sam, there his numbers there, 6'2", 235 pounds. And there you see his numbers so far this season. Sam got great acceleration. He doesn't have the best speed, but he has great acceleration, great agility. Awareness is right there. Great throwing arm. Accuracy could be some work on, but he knows where to throw it at. And then we'll go on to rest of some of his other great elusiveness, as he can just really get out of harm's way when he sees these big lumbering linebackers coming after him on blitzing and such. And that's another thing where we have to keep this young man controlled. He's just going to be a pain in the behind if we do not keep him in check. There is, they've used the no huddle system a lot of times too, so that could be an issue for us. Talking Coach Tabon says he's seen that this season. We've seen that many times here, and they are trying. They've been working on several different play calls, and also working on different things to try to minimize that some, because they have been burned on that quite a few times there this season. I can't remember which game it was. I was going to say it's a West Coast team that it happened to, that we played, and they just there was times it was just really tough and brutal. And of course, when you see teams like that, they know that you have a good defense, and they just don't want to have you get the right personnel out there, and that's I can see Texas doing that. Like I said, both teams got excellent defenses. It's just going to come down to who is going to be the X factor, who is going to be that one person that's going to make a game-changing play for the team and help them out to get that win and bring home the national championship. So it's going to be a fun one. I cannot wait to call this one. And we'll see how we do against these Texas Longhorns. Like I said, a preview, maybe even a preview of one of next year's regular season games. But nonetheless, it's going to be a fun one. Number 1 Highland going against number 2 Texas Longhorns. Should be a good one. And everything, just like I said, is more than pride. Trust me, this is bragging rights to start off the Big 12 for next season. But that's it for this episode of the Scotties Sports Talk here on ESGNet on NCAA Football 14. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please leave a like. Don't forget to smack that subscribe button if you're new. Hit that bell notification so you guys can be notified of this series or any other series here on the channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Discord for the latest news and events on this series or any other series here on the channel or in the channel in general. Check us out also on our new channel, our secondary channel on ESGNet LP. We've got great content over there. We've got another NCAA series over there, and that is my Stanford Cardinal online Dynasty there on that one. So stay tuned for more here on both channels for a lot more action in our different series that we have here on both channels. But that's it for this Highland Scotties. Stay tuned as we head on down to Miami. Get ready for some football here. We'll see if we can bring home a third national championship. 3 out of 4 years. Can we do it? We're going to find out and see. That's it for me. As always, don't forget to wear a mask, stay safe, keep each other healthy, and I'll see you guys next time.